What's up, everybody, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast presents the original Season 1, Episode 16, Farewell to Storyville. I'm your host, Mike, still filling in for Dom this week, and joining me is my lovely co-host, the pain in the butt in my life, my wife, Omikins.
Hi.
Isn't she wonderful? I'm gonna get beat. Get beat so bad. What's up, honey? How you doing?
Pretty well.
Pretty well? Yeah? So, what'd you think of this episode, sweetie?
Um, drama. Drama.
Drama.
Yeah.
Well, how so? Just,
Uh, Klaus is a dick.
we know that.
Rebecca's a whiny bitch.
We know that.
Davina's, she's curled up in a ball and she's huddling in the corner.
She's melodramatic.
Yes, and Marcel is just naive and he's gonna die.
Eventually. I have a feeling that Marcel's gonna be dead, come end of season. This is a little feeling I've been getting the last few episodes, but we'll see. Still got about, 6 left? Give or
I
take?
guess.
6 or 7 left, I think. I'm not sure. But, so last week, we'll start off with this. The last episode ended with Rebecca, Elijah, and Klaus all trapped in the witch's graveyard, or the City of the Dead, as they like to call it, and surrounded by a barrier spell, and they can't get out. Klaus is pissed off and wants to kill Rebecca. Elijah wants to protect her. So that's where that ended, and they all had the scary faces on. So did you expect this episode to start off with just an instant, massive fight among the 3 siblings?
Not really.
No?
No. Knowing Elijah in there, there's gonna be some talk. It's not just gonna be fight.
Yeah, exactly. So, Elijah's always that calm. I love Elijah. I mean, I've probably mentioned it before. I have the biggest man crush on that guy.
His character's really, really interesting.
He's an interesting character, and the actor plays him amazingly. He's got that silver tongue. Just can make you
Really
do
does.
anything. Just he could just talk you into anything, and you'd be like, okay. Hell, he could talk my pants off. Anyway, yes, in this episode, Mike says awkward things. Omi face palms at Mike, and we continue. But yeah, he's always the calmer one. I mean, when he gets pissed off, he does damage, but
He does it calmly, though, too.
he calmly does damage, methodically does damage.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess it makes sense. He is the elder brother. He has been stated as the most powerful brother. If it went that way.
Ducks.
Yes. Yes. The local Staten Island ducks. Here in New York, we have mutant breeds of ducks that sound like they've developed engines to fly with. It saves calories, thus they are very fat ducks. Anyway. So yeah, where was I? Elijah's the more powerful one. If it wasn't for the fact that Klaus is a hybrid, Elijah would kind of be the most powerful supernatural entity in the world right now.
Yeah.
But he's not. Instead, he's the most charming. But, yeah, I don't know. I had a feeling at the end of that episode like they were brewing for a fight, and I was waiting for it. It didn't happen. So, this episode breaks back and forth between the graveyard and other people pretty much the whole episode, every few minutes. So, let's get away from the graveyard for a moment before we get into the real drama. Marcel has Davina safe again in the church attic. We see him bringing her some things to just try and get her back and being herself after she was recently resurrected. Don't you think she's getting a little tired of the church attic?
No? That's probably the safest place she can be, and she knows it.
Boring surroundings, though, don't you think?
No.
No.
No, she's an artist. She makes her own fun.
I guess that works. Marcel tries to get stuff out of her. Doesn't work. She says she doesn't want to talk about it. And then Cammy goes up there and starts talking to Davina, and she spills her guts to Cammy. She says that basically Davina is traumatized from the experience of dying and being stuck on the other side with her ancestors pretty much tormenting her, telling her she's a horrible person and that they're going to do terrible things to her if she ever misuses magic again. Do you think this is a genuine danger? That she has to be on her best behavior, or her hair is going to light on fire or something?
I don't know. I mean, the witches have to take the power from the earth in order to access it. So really, unless a spell becomes active, I don't think the ancestors themselves can manifest and do any harm to the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just put those lies into her head to scare her, and she's scared because it is a real thing now. The whole, like, coming back to life and the whole harvest thing, that whole ritual was real.
Right.
And
she thought it was BS the whole time.
Yeah, she thought it was BS the whole time. She's like, okay, I'm just, when she was going to die, she was going to die. That's how she accepted it. But then the ancestors, and then she came back. So she's like, okay, now this is real. The ancestors' threats are real. I better be good.
Better be a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's got the voices in their head. They say that the witches are the only people who can help her now, but she's afraid that the witches all hate her for what she did, for working with Marcel. Do you think that all of the witches would shun her like she's afraid they're going to?
Well, if Sophie was still around, I don't think that'd be the case. Because Sophie was pretty much on the I don't think this is real train either. It depends on where the witches stood as far as the ritual went. Mm-hmm. Like me, if I happened to be a witch in New Orleans at that time, I would sympathize with her. If I believed, I would still sympathize, saying, yes, it does seem a little out of this world and ridiculous that this would be real.
Yeah.
So I would be, I would accept her back. She's young, I mean, it's not like she did this on purpose and wanted to kill off the witches. At one point that was said, but that wasn't her intention. She wanted to survive.
Right. I mean, me personally, it depends on how you sell it to me. I mean, you're in a world where magic exists. Like, you can do it yourself. There are vampires, there are werewolves, there are all kinds of other supernatural entities. I mean, here, in reality, if someone said, I'm going to sacrifice 4 girls to our ancestors, and we're going to gain incredible magical power from it, you'd think they're a quack, some kind of nutty mass murderer, and you'd call the cops. But in this universe, there is magic, there are vampires, there are werewolves, there's all this crazy stuff. So, is it that hard to believe that there is some kind of ancient ritual to draw on the power of your ancestors, which you already draw on to do your everyday magic?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So.
But maybe the fact of, having people... Am I reverbing through your headset or something?
I don't think you are. Okay. I can't even hear you from the other room.
I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. From her standpoint, magic was kind of weak to begin with. The sound, just the thought of all this huge amount of power coming back from people dying is kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I don't know. I was just thinking. Brain going places. But, I guess back to the episode here. We're going to save the graveyard for the last. This way we're not cutting back and forth. Marcel, Davina mentions, that Marcel just wants to use her again to lower the barrier spell around the graveyard so he can go save Rebecca. True, right?
Well, Marcel, truly cares about Davina, but he also loves Rebecca. Yeah. So, he was hoping that because of their prior friendship between Davina and Marcel, that Davina would help him. But that's not the case. I mean, who was it that spout the lie, not the lies, because it was true, the whole, like he's using you stuff into her head?
Oh,
Because, I mean, that's where it started, and that's where it grew from.
You're right. It did grow from there, and she even accuses Cammy of wanting to use her.
Well, yeah, well, Cammy did.
She kind of did.
She did.
Yeah, she did, you're right. Cammy actually does give a damn, though.
She does give a damn, but she gives a damn about everyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's Cammy's character. Well, anyway, Cammy wants to use her to cure her uncle, Father Kieran. And in a conversation with Marcel, Father Kieran, we know, is still hexed. I had honestly forgotten about that until, halfway through this episode when he mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. So Father Kieran is still hexed, and he has seemed to accepted that it's going to kill him. So, and on that note, I mean, later in the episode, Genevieve tells Marcel that there's nothing she can do about that. The hex is in there, and, it's had time to set in, so nobody can help him. You believe that?
No. If someone can undo Klaus's curse and unlock his werewolf side, which was figured to be an irreversible curse or whatever.
Irreversible, yeah.
Yeah, irreversible. They can they can undo this hex. And yeah, so I mean, come on.
I know, right? I mean, that cast by the most powerful witch at the time to bind his werewolf side so it wouldn't show. It lasts for 1,000 years almost, and then they finally figure out a way to break it.
And they do.
So, well, here's the thing, though.
Kieran's not immortal. They don't have 1,000 years to figure it out.
They don't have 1,000 years to figure out the break of this hex. They got a couple weeks, if that.
But, I mean, if Davina helps out, I mean, I'm pretty sure she can do it. And Genevieve just doesn't want to help, so she's telling Marcel there's no hope.
Yeah, Genevieve just... I don't like her.
No.
Out of all of the witches that they brought back, and I guess that's their point why they did this, they're doing a good job with it. Of all the witches that they brought back, I like her the least.
No, I thought Genevieve was the most likable out of all of them. I didn't like Celeste. I didn't like that old hag. Well, Papa Tunde was an amazing character, but as far as the likable, I don't like him.
No, yeah, nobody really liked him, I guess. Yep, so anyway, let's move on with this. So Kieran, we don't believe, is up a shit creek without a paddle, basically, right? I hope not. I like Father Kieran. I mean, he's human. He's the human character in the middle of all this supernatural crap, and he's like the Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, just like getting too old for this shit.
He was like a lark before he became a vampire hunter.
Right, exactly. That's probably why I like him, because I love the Alaric. So, you know what? I never put that together. Thank you. He's the Alaric of this series. Yeah. Pretty much. Kinda. In a way.
Sorta.
So, yeah, kinda, sorta. A little bit. Maybe that's why I like him so much. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to the graveyard. So, a couple of quick rapid-fire ones here. Do you expect Klaus to actually go through and kill Rebecca?
No.
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 Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
I thought, they can't kill off one of the main three characters here. It's called The Originals for...
I mean, and he was having a lot of flashbacks about, Rebecca being cute, and he was like, I'll be with you forever kind of stuff. No, he wasn't gonna kill her.
Yeah, and another thing. All these nice flashbacks to when they were kids. Shows you kind of the reason why Rebecca loved Klaus so much, because he was always nice to her. And... it's more of the torture that Michael put into those kids.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't a very nice man to his children.
No.
Not at all. But, anyway. So, that was the first rapid fire. Second. Okay, it's not that rapid.
No.
How far did you think Elijah would go to stop Klaus?
He would not kill him, but he would incapacitate him.
By any means necessary?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I figured, too. During their whole drama session, Rebecca just comes out of hiding and lays into Klaus. She was kind of dumb for inciting him and pissing him off even more at that point.
It was probably dumb, but, you know, from Rebecca's view and the way Rebecca's character is, that was not. I mean,
No
she had to do it. She had to do it. It was that's her flaw of her character. She has to get everything out in the open. She has to be blunt and she has to be forward.
All right, that works. Finally, is Klaus just being a big bitch about all of this?
Of course he is.
Like, can he just is he being too stubborn and too bitchy?
Well, no. At one point, who called him insane? Was it Elijah or Rebecca?
Rebecca said he was insane.
And he was like, I am! And that's the point. He's insane. He wants everything to go his way because that's all that matters is what's in his head. That's the only story that makes sense is what's in his head. And he's made up this story.
Right.
So.
No. I guess that's that. So, while trying to talk down Klaus, Elijah, he winds up with both the White Oak Stake and Tunde's blade in his possession.
The White Oak Stake. We actually talked about this a few episodes ago. We're like, where is it? Well, hey, look.
Guess what?
Klaus had it the whole fucking time. What a dick.
Exactly. That's just insurance policy against his siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Klaus had, brought it to kill Rebecca. Now Elijah's got both. He says, the only reason I'm holding this is to keep it away from you. And he just, nonchalantly tosses it far away. And after that, Klaus rushes him, turns Tunde's knife on him, and stabs him with it. And he's like, see? That's how it feels. So, ouch. I have no other point or question other than ouch. And I felt bad for Elijah, because, like I said...
Well, I mean, Elijah was steadfast to a point. And then Klaus said something, and his wall cracked. And Klaus saw that and rushed in and did it. And, I mean, it was a point of weakness for Elijah. And, I mean, now he realizes it. I mean, you see at the end of the episode, he's completely different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he deserved it, but I'm saying it was coming to him.
Yeah, I guess. But, after that, Rebecca winds up with the stake.
Mm-hmm.
And, now I decide who lives and dies, blah, blah, blah. A couple minutes later, she winds up stabbed with the damn thing. Okay. Did you think she was dead?
For a moment.
For a moment,
but then, it doesn't make sense for her to die.
That, and the way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
He stabbed her, she fell down, and then they cut to commercial. Like, for a main character death like that, they would have drawn that scene out. They would have made it dramatic as possible. Hell, they made it dramatic when Michael got stabbed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, that was that. I'm like, nah, she can't be dead. That's ridiculous. Then, next scene, here she comes walking back towards, Klaus, like, you missed. And then he turns her words on her, like, maybe I just didn't want to actually go through with it. But, after, it seems like Klaus and Rebecca are having kind of a reconciliation moment, which they really aren't. But during it, they realize that their father ruined them. Klaus, go ahead. You have something there.
It was a civil confrontation.
It was a civil confrontation. I like that. So, they realize that their father ruined them.
Mm-hmm.
He even asked the question, which I'm surprised he never asked before in his life, makes me wonder if his father ruined him too.
Maybe it just wasn't a thing.
Like, maybe in my state of mind now, realizing this, maybe that's what happened to him and why he was such a dick to us.
It's possible. It was pretty rough in those times.
Exactly. Viking ages?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 11th century?
Yeah.
Not fun. So, Klaus tells Rebecca she can leave. Go far away, find happiness, I won't hunt you. She drives off out of the city with a big smile on her face. How long do you think it'll be until we see her again?
It doesn't say anything on websites that she's returning.
It says that Claire Holt has left the show. She's no longer a series regular.
It doesn't mean she's not gonna make appearance or come back in flashbacks or anything like that. So,
And they haven't given details. They're being very vague about it. They said that this does not...
They probably have no idea where the story's going past this season.
True. They said she can come back next season. She could come back as early as the last couple of episodes of this season, or she could even guest on the Vampire Diaries. They said it's all up in the air right now. Nothing is confirmed, but nothing is denied.
Yeah.
Very vague. So do you think she'll show up on the Vampire Diaries in the next couple episodes?
I don't really know. I mean, I predict that the last episode is when the baby's gonna be born, and something's gonna stir, and Klaus is gonna need the help, and he's gonna have to,
call back Auntie Bex.
He's gonna call back Auntie Bex, as she put it. Yeah, he's gonna have to, suck it up, and he's gonna have to bring her back for at least a little while, just so that Haley and baby are safe while he deals with the baddies.
Exactly. Oh, I don't know. I like the character of Rebecca, and I hate her at the same time, so I'm indifferent.
I hated her in the beginning.
I grew to like her.
I grew to like her. She's got a lot more heart than when she first started.
I roller coaster her.
I don't know.
And actually, the actress stated that it was a personal decision to stop, that she never expected to play the character for this long, because originally Rebecca was only meant for 3 episodes in the Vampire Diaries, period. When she got introduced, it was going to be there for 3 episodes, and she was done. But something changed. Apparently people liked her character. Liked the flavor she added or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Last bit. Klaus goes home. Finds all of Marcel's vampires in his house. Steven says, "What are you doing in my house? Like, why are you loitering in my home?" And then Marcel comes out. He wants to confront Klaus. He says, "I may not be able to defeat you, but at least I'm going to face you." So Klaus just looks. He says, "You're going to have to kill me, and you're going to have to do it in front of all my people." So he just looks, turns, walks away, upstairs. What'd you think was happening at this point?
Nothing. Klaus was just like, "I'm done with this shit. I'm going to go tend to my baby. And, I'm starting new," which is what he said at one point when he was leaving the cemetery, that he needed a new story.
Right.
So I think that's where he was like, "You know what, I'm done with this. New story starts now."
Yeah. So, right after that, Marcel gets flung across the room by, surprise, Elijah. Elijah's the one who makes the "get the hell out of here, or you're dead" threat. It says, "Out of respect for my sister, I let you live tonight."
Elijah's the logical one. With Marcel hanging around, Klaus wouldn't have been able to move on.
Right there. You nailed that one on the head.
Plus, Marcel was, I think he tends to like the spot that Marcel was standing in. He was like, "Get the fuck out of here. This is my spot."
My spot.
My spot.
And he just looks around like, "Good evening. I assume I don't need any introductions."
Yes.
Like, no. No, that'd be like Dracula appearing out of bat form. It'd be like, "Blah, you want to know who I am?"
That is the worst vampire sound ever. Blah.
I'm aware of that. That's why I did it.
So much.
I'm so stupid. It's like, "Blah, I'm going to suck your blood." Oh. Insert black cape here. Anyway, next episode. Oh, you got anything else you want to say about this episode? Other than it was 25 minutes of Klaus being a bitch.
It kind of felt like a finale to me, because there was the point where Rebecca left, and it just seemed like it really was rolling over into a new story arc.
But it
is. It is
rolling into a new story arc.
It is, but it seemed like a finale, because it kind of seemed like things were closed to me.
It's possible that this is what they planned to end the season with, when it was only going to be half season before it got extended. I mean, there's another possibility there. But it did feel like a finale, but it was a character send-off.
It really was, yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably why it felt that way. And it's good for it to feel that way. Give the character a good, bye-bye. in the not dead category.
Yes.
As in they're moving on to a happily ever after. Next episode, though. The moon over... Well, just not the... Moon over Bourbon Street. Couldn't find any synopsis for it. Unfortunately.
That's been actually a pretty common thing as of
across
late.
all of our shows.
All of the shows, they're like, you know what? No synopsis for you.
Well, also, yeah, I know, like, no.
No.
But anyway, that's probably because the shows are going on these 2-week, 1-week, 3-week, all kinds of random breaks. I mean, we had no Supernatural or Vampire Diaries this week. S.H.I.E.L.D. is gone for 2 weeks. Another show I know is on break for a while. Again, it's so weird what they're doing. They're trying to draw the season out for some reason. Whatever. We got a preview of this episode. The preview's 20 seconds, quick. You can search it on YouTube. Just look for the originals 1x17 promo. And it's Elijah and Klaus. Elijah asking Klaus, so you want to throw a huge party? And Klaus is like, the biggest party this town's ever seen. Damn it. Almost got through this whole episode without it happening. But anyway. And then it shows Elijah dancing with Haley at a nice party, and chaos apparently ensues. Vampires are going crazy killing the locals, witches are going crazy killing vampires. All hell's broken loose. And then it just ends with Klaus toasting Elijah to the most boring night one could possibly imagine. Ding. And then it's like, originals done.
I don't know. I mean, if all that stuff really did happen, it would seem quite exciting to me. Especially if I was in Klaus's shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's just like a bad dream or something. Which would be really lame, but I mean...
It would be lame, but whatever. They've done crazier. So, anything else, sweet? Tea?
Turn that damn phone off.
I just did turn it off. At least I thought I did.
You didn't.
I'm sorry. Blame whoever... You know, I'm going to tell you right now who you can blame. Because I'm mad. Blame...
Squishy.
No, it's not him, actually. Somebody on...
Whoa!
Blame... It's loading. See? Twitter loading. Can't really see that. Blame Dom for posting a picture. I'm going to tell you what the picture is, because it is Dom, who's usually sitting in my spot. Not in this house, in this frame. It's a picture that's not loading, but I have to say it. It's got to be on air, because he interrupted us. He tried. The last episode we recorded, I forgot what it was. He tweeted 3 minutes.
Goat scream bah or
tweeted
something. I think he was singing The Foxes, and it actually came out into Twitter.
He posted a picture of a Denny's restaurant, but the sign is photoshopped to say drunk food. And he said it couldn't be more true. And the second one was Cody responding with, I want Denny's now.
I think we've all been craving Denny's the last few months.
Fuck, man. I don't know. Anyway.
Anyways.
Over there is my lovely wife, Omikins. Where can they find you, sweetie?
Twitter.
Right there, Lady Venom 24.
At Lady Venom 24. LadyVenom 24.
On Twitter. You can find me also on Twitter at Thilladren, THILLADREN, right there. You can find all of us on tvcaptive.com. We put these podcasts up there, as well as a few other interesting tidbits and articles, news stories. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and you can email us, all ASOTV podcast.
Of course, we're on YouTube.
And of course, we're on YouTube.
Of course.
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Nice knowing you all. I'm about to die. Have a lovely evening.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't hurt me. Oh yeah, by the way, signing off, I've been Mike. That's been Nikki. Omi, person. Don't hurt me. Oh god, here she comes.